So this is a big property. It's like 7 acres. It's all ag land up here. So we raise tropical flowers and then do a small business on the side with tropicals. So these are all lychee trees. They're so huge they don't really bear fruit that much, but I use the wood. Anyway, this is a nursery. So it was called the Honolulu Orchid Company. They grew orchids and anthuriums and things like that. So it was a big operation at one time back in the 50s. And then the whole place was abandoned, and that's how we got it because nobody wanted it. It was completely overgrown, a total mess. We had a lot of work to do, and then we saw the potential of it, but this didn't look anything like this. It was just a bare structure. There wasn't any of this downstairs or anything. We filled all this in and made it into a real art studio. So it's big. It's big, and it's got a lot of room for both of us, which is what we wanted. Anyway, up here, we've been here 30, 34 years, I guess. So pretty much everything you see is something we did. This area is kind of the roughing out staging area for the chainsaw work. So I get the logs like this, from the tree. Not everybody has a tractor. So this is what they call a front end loader. So this whole bucket thing lifts up. And so any of these big logs I can lift because it's an amazingly powerful machine. So anywhere that I can get to it with a tractor, I can bring it in here and we can work on it up here. I have gone through probably 8 different chainsaws. This is a garden area over here, which is mainly for the fun of it. And then we can go in the back door of the studio. So this is the painting studio. So I had my students in here this morning, doing a watercolor class. So watercolor is one of my favorite things, probably the thing I started doing earliest in life. And I've been doing the longest. So let me just show you in the corner over here real quick. So this is where some of the 3D stuff is in this corner. But anyway, and so the cashew lacquer, they're all weighty. They're all kind of chunky. Everything comes from the property. All the imagery, all the materials, pretty much everything. It just kind of comes my way, and then it gets moved and used. The idea is just to keep opening up to things, right? And whatever comes your way, you open up to it, and then be grateful for it. So downstairs, I have another studio, the printmaking studio. So very fortunate to be able to dedicate a space. So this too is a classroom. So we have all these different sort of spots around here where we teach, because teaching to me is an avenue to access art. In other words, teaching, I get to teach what I want to teach. And what I want to teach is what I want to learn, not what I already know. So I keep expanding all the time through teaching. Teaching is the way that I'm able to grow as an artist, because I learn from my students, because my students are people like you. You see, people that have a background already and come to it with their own abilities and ideas. And so it's a very much of a shared kind of like a laboratory. So the back out here is part of the studio too. And then, so it's a multi-purpose area. We got all kinds of shop stuff back here: table saw, chop saw, belt sander, bandsaw. All the tools, because we built our own house too. So in the process of building the house, we acquired a lot of tools, and so as well as skills. So okay, Jinja, you want to show me your studio?
You can keep your shoes on. No, no, I don't take off my shoes. Yeah, yeah, just walk in. Well, let's go to the back. I think I have a few more things hanging up in the back.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how differently your space and George's space is
Different.
organized.
Yeah, yeah, we're just exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
I prefer linear quality, like color pencils and etching needles and engraving tools, and whereas he likes big brushes and stuff. And I'm not so much into making the pieces, but decorating the three-dimensional surface. Yeah, because basically I'm an painter, printmaker. That's my background.
Interesting how that
And then
translates.
instead of having flat surface all the time,
Mhm.
I just wanted to get into working on three-dimensional surfaces. All day in the studio, yeah. I wish I can say that I spend a lot of time, but with the age, I just get tired more easily. So I used to work until midnight, but that's not possible any longer. So like after taking care of cleaning, cooking, laundry, bookkeeping, yard work, and when they come to work, I have to kind of monitor them and stuff. So what's left? It's just kind of getting pitiful. Like if I can put in 2 hours a day, 2, 3 hours, I feel lucky.
I mean, you're doing a lot.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, just the basic demand of just living.
Yeah. Life
Yeah.
is demanding.
Yeah. Well, you wait until you get older. There's no 24 hours anymore. I just sleep a lot. So I can't say I'm very productive. No, I have a lot of ideas, but I have the thread going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. See what happens.
You're still doing a lot.
Oh, it's just because I haven't sold anything. It looked like I have a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I was really, it's like I do a lot of experimenting, so I don't have a, identifiable style. I am more into, it's almost like a research, and try to define what art should be, and experiment with different medium, and I think I process. George is very intuitive, emotional, physically involved, big painting. And whereas I do a little bit of a head trip, you process over here, and then they come out. So it's quite different approach, right? Yeah. So maybe I'll die trying.